Hello everyone, my name is Chevry and welcome back for episode 39 of the Satisfactory series here on YouTube. In this video we take on another huge project of 50 crystal oscillators per minute. With a few alternate recipes and well over 200 machines, this factory is one of the cleanest layouts I've put together so far. Blueprints really saved the day when being able to put this together in one episode. Thank you for all the support and help with the series so far. Let's get to playing games. Alright, who's ready to get started on another big build? So welcome back everybody. Today it is time to jump into another, I don't know if we call this a mega factory, but it's going to be a pretty large factory. It's got 46 refineries, 145 constructors, 23 assemblers, 50 manufacturers, 11 water extractors, and 4 minor Mark IIs. I'm actually going to use a bunch of blueprints that I made today, so that should hopefully speed things along a little bit. I may break this up into a couple different episodes depending on how far we get through building this. I mean, it may not get fired up today, but we should at least be able to play quite a good handful of machines using all my blueprints. The only one that's probably going to be slower is, I mean, you can't really blueprint multiple manufacturers together, so I basically have to place still 50 manufacturers. Everything else I have done up in some groups. And we can head on over there ready to go. Just as a quick little reminder, we are building up here our crystal oscillator spot in this little fork, or this inlet of water here. It is right by 2 pure quartz nodes and 2 pure iron nodes, both of which we will be making use of today, as well as some alt recipes which are just going to make this a little bit easier. You might be wondering to yourself, how are you going to make crystal oscillators with only iron and quartz? Well, let me tell you about a little secret. Secret called alternate recipes named pure iron ingot, pure quartz crystal, and the alternate iron wire. So we actually don't need any copper for this build. And then stitched iron plate for the reinforced iron plate recipe. So it ends up making this build super simple, but still quite large because it is, I mean, making 50 crystal oscillators per minute does take quite a few machines. So we can head on over there. Like I said, we got everything ready to go in a few storage bins. And we can get started. Just quickly before we head over there, I wanted to take a minute to say thank you guys one more time for the support of getting this channel over 500 subscribers. It means we did get invited into the YouTube partnership program, which I think is really cool. And I really appreciate you guys for helping out. So we now have channel memberships open. If you wanted to get yourself a little sign with your name on it in the Hall of Legends, you can hit the, I think it's a little join button on the on my profile. But thank you again to our Patreon members, Ray Trace, Ashley, and Bambi. I appreciate you guys so much. Now let's head on over to get this build started. There we go. Made it. Here we are over at the giant platform I made for the crystal oscillator factory. Honestly, it's probably going to even need to be bigger than this. This probably isn't enough room because, man, we got a lot of machines to place. And I do have just a quick little human cannon for getting myself home that'll just shoot me directly up over the mountains and back. I'll have to jet back a little bit to the left, but it sends me right back to where I need to be. So without further ado, we can get started on our build here for the 50 crystal oscillators per minute. You can use some of them for crafting a whole bunch of signs, but there's also a few recipes that use crystal oscillators as well, so that's mostly what this is going to be for. So here are the 2 pure crystal nodes that we're going to be using. Now I just need to build the platforms and send the crystal on over here. And then I'm going to start on... Actually, where's the water? Water's over there, right? So I'm almost wondering if I should start from that side and work my way over. But I mean, that's the one kind of drawback here is... here are the 2 iron nodes I'm going to be using. So the raw resources are on this side. The water is on the other side. So I think I'll just bring the water on over to this side. We'll just pump it underneath the building. And then we'll just connect these nodes to the building. Should be pretty straightforward. We just got to take out these giant rocks off the top. Put in some platforms, put in some miners, and we're good to go. Now I am going to have to try and push towards, I mean, if you're building this and you have minor Mark IIIs already, you can make it a little bit easier on yourself. I mean, you'll still have to use 2, but you can definitely not use, I think it would use way less power if you're using miner Mark 3s. Maybe, I don't know, because they'd be downclocked. But anyway, the two, yeah, sorry, lost my train of thought there. The next project after this one, where I wanted to literally just take all the oil from the pretty zone over here and turn it into packaged heavy oil residue, and then just send it around the map for whatever I need. I kind of need at least, I think, one miner Mark III for that, possibly two. So I do need to kind of push for that, and I'll probably just end up buying from the awesome shop the parts I need for unlocking that one in this playthrough anyway. Like I've said in the past couple of videos, with 1.0 kind of the release looming all around, we're not 100% sure yet, but it seems like probably sometime in the summer. Like a June, like a between June and like September release, I think. So we're pretty much ready to go on a nice little restart, where we're actually going to be starting. I mean, here, this is the Northern Forest, isn't it? I think this is the Northern Forest right here. So yeah, this is pretty much where we're going to be starting next time. Nice cool waterfalls, lots of foliage. And one of the other great things about, I think the Northern Forest is probably going to become, if it's not already the most popular starting point, it probably will be, especially because they made it so you can quote unquote automate biofuel power. I mean, you still have to go out and collect the things for it, but you can act like you can set up a bunch of machines to like feed the actual the biofuel generators. So I feel like the Northern Forest is going to be, if it's not already, definitely the most popular starting point. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw down some quick little foundations on these, and we'll throw the miners on top. All right, that should work. So we got the two, I mean, they're all buried now, but you got 2 quartz there, 2 iron here. So let's go ahead and go grab, I have most of the build materials in the chests over here, just because it was taking up so much of my inventory. So let's go ahead and grab the stuff, at least for throwing down the miners. And then, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, we need 4 miner Mark IIs. And then we'll belt it up and under, I mean, this is like my quote unquote logistics lore, where I kind of move some stuff around, but most things are actually just going to stay up on this upper level. So we're going to go ahead and put some miners down and belt them over. And then we'll at least have our raw materials ready, and then we'll have to figure out where the water is going to come from. I got to put down 11 water extractors down in there. I mean, there's plenty of space, obviously, but we just got to put some, I think I'll just put them in a line here, or put them in like a little grid pattern of some kind. And then we'll just run the pipe up along the bottom here, and then we'll put it up through where we need it to be. All right, we got our miners in. Now we're just going to bring over some belts now. So we have a total of combined, it's going to be over 1,000 from each one. So we're going to have to bring in 2 lines on each side. Thankfully, we have the Mark V conveyor belts now. So let me grab my sheets and everything out of my storage bins, and then we're going to bring these over. So yeah, you need 2 lines. So like one is just going to feed 1 line each. So we're going to split. So this is, let me check my numbers here. 1004.63. So we're going to go 1004.63 divided by 2. Oops. Copy. I'm going to paste that onto the output. Oh, we're going to put in overclock it first. There we go. So it's 502.32 or 209.2979 or yeah, I mean, you guys can see that. But yeah, that's the clock rate for both iron miners. All right, now for the quartz miners, we're going to be bringing in 1,157.14 per minute. So we're going to go 1157.14 divided by 2. That's easier. I'm just going to copy that. Paste it into here with power shards. There we go. 241.0708%. Then we're going to put that, it's the exact same thing. We'll just copy this. Paste it here. Oops, I got to put in the power shards first. Then I can paste it there. There we go. And that's going to be your clock speed for your 2 lines or each of your quartz miners. And then same thing as the iron, you're going to need to keep that in 2 separate lines, each on a Mark 5 conveyor belt, and then some Mark 5 lifts. We'll bring that over, so it's we'll just kind of bring them pretty much. I'll bring the quartz in, and then I'll just send it a little bit to the right. We'll keep everything down here on the bottom left, and that way I can start lining up some refineries. Okay, water extractors. I overcounted actually how many I overcounted how many I actually need, because I've decided I'm just going to do a little bit of overclocking. So I need I need 2 pipes, and split between them is going to be 643, because obviously you can only fit 600 in a Mark II pipe. So we're going to have 2 Mark II pipes, whatever 643 is divided by 2 between them, and then we can have 1 Mark II pipe coming from these 2, that is 574, and that is going for the pure iron ingot, and these 3 are going for the pure quartz ingot. So we're going to merge these ones together, and I'll show you how we're going to split these properly. We're going to go ahead and grab our Mark II pipes. We'll connect everything up here. So we have our Mark II pipes. Attempt number 3, Mark II pipes. There we go. And what's going to happen is this one in the middle is actually going to split to combine with the other 2. Just like that. And so we're going to have 1 line coming out of here. And then 1 line coming out of here. There we go. Okay, so to calculate this, we're going to go 643 divided by 3, as you can see I've already done here. So we're going to copy that. And we're going to make each of these water extractors. You need 2 power shards per water extractor, and it's 214.33 cubic meters per minute, or 178.61111%. So we're just going to do that in all 3 of these. There's that one. And there is that one. So for the other 2, like I said, 574, you're going to divide that by 2. So you have 574 divided by 2, it's 287. And we're going to copy. But that means these are both going to need 3 power shards. 287, because they can do maximum of 300. Oops, another one. There we go. So, and then we can combine these together. They could be 1 line. Connect you to you. You to you. There. Alright, there we go. So just so I don't forget, we got a 321.5, 321.5, and a 574. So we're just going to we're going to pump those directly up. It's probably going to take a good handful of, probably going to take at least 2 pumps to get these up. But then we'll have the water up where we need it to be. I think what I'll do is I'll pump it up to the very upper floor. Or I can even maybe pump it up to here for now. Or yeah, I'll pump it up to the very upper floor, and then we'll pipe them into a storage system just to get, or a fluid buffer, just to give myself a little bit of free space, or freedom to make some mistakes as well. So we're going to bring these directly up. I'm just going to build some foundations up. We'll build some pumps, sending the pipes up. We'll be good to go. Okay, I can tell you right now, that was a lot of meters up. So it's going to be definitely at least 2 pumps, if not 3. So let's go and run. I did leave there's a hole right there on the roof. There's some pipe connectors there. And I'm just going to run these over and up. And it's probably going to need some of its own pipe connectors going up the wall. So we'll just have to be aware of that. These are going to come straight down like this. Set it to horizontal to vertical. So it's going upwards. we go. Do the same with the other one. And then bring this one over. There we go. We got some pipes going all the way up. Let's figure out what our headroom is going to be. Let me run upstairs and grab my motors and encased beams that I know are above me. Let's see what our head lift's going to be like. Okay, so it looks like we're only going to need 2, so that's fine. So water extractors by themselves are supposed to have 10 meters of head lift, so I should be at least able to put these in like right here to buy myself a tiny bit of headroom. We'll set these all next to each other. I think are they facing the right way? I don't know. No, they were not facing the right way. Let's put those back in. Now facing up. But like that. There we go. Okay, so what's my head lift like? Takes me to there. Oh, looks like we are going to need another one. Wait, can I buy myself just a little bit? Well, either way, I still have to go up another floor, right? So, because yeah, even that's probably barely. That's probably pushing 10 meters. All right, and the next one has to go. Wait, that's where the head lift is too? No way. Ain't no way. Let's connect these out a little more and see if it comes up further. Like, man, what an unfortunate, like I built what, like 2 meters down too far? Dang. I grab the pumps. Yeah, head lift is literally to right there. Wow. That's crazy. So you are going to need a extra pump on all these. Although this just means I don't have to put another one on like this floor. Oops. I think I faced that one the wrong way too. So yeah, just to recap, you're looking at 3 pipeline Mark II pipeline pumps on each pipe. One at the bottom, bringing it up to there, the middle, and then technically it makes it up just to that bend, but I just dropped it down one more, and that should give me the head lift that I'll need to get it up to the upper floor. So now I'm just going to run my pipes all the way to the upper floor. Like I said, these 2 are going to be saved for the quartz line, and this one can stay by itself going and running over to the iron ore line. Okay, so now that we have the general idea of bringing in all of our raw materials that we need, we got our iron ore, we got our raw quartz, and then that'll be our water. Nothing's actually flowing in yet, but that's okay. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to start laying out my refineries now, and I needed 29 refineries for the pure iron ingot. Now 29 is a hard thing to split up properly, so I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to make 30, and I'm going to make them 3 lines of 10. Especially because we need 1 line of 620, like output, we need 1 line of 625, and then we need 2 lines that's 1,240 split in half. So it's like 620. Actually, it's exactly 620. But it's also 0.74, so it's 620 point whatever. And that'll be the 2 bigger lines go to make the iron wire, and the smaller line goes to make iron plates. So let's go ahead and get started with 3 lines of, here's what we're actually going to be using. We're going to be using my blueprints. And if you're looking to use the same blueprints that I have, you may have your own by now. You can go to the Google Drive, and all my blueprints are listed on there. If there isn't one on there that you're like, hey, where is that one at? Just shoot me a message on Discord or leave a comment on the video. Let me know. that I've forgotten, because more than likely I probably forgot to just add it in after I made it. But yeah, you guys can check it out. My world saves are on there as well, and we'll have some community blueprints made for you in there as well if you want to check those out. So let's go to production. We're looking for my refineries for pure ingots right here. So yeah, these are set up specifically for doing pure ingots. They don't have like their actual inputs set yet, but we're gonna make sure we actually have them facing the right way this time. So I'm gonna make a line. It looks like I'm actually gonna want to be doing it this way, just because of the way it's hard to see, but my conveyor belt feeding is going this way. So I'm gonna place them going down here. So this is exactly the fun part about using these blueprints too, is I know this takes exactly four foundations. So I can just go like this, boop. And now I have even power's hooked up. We got to hook everything together, obviously, but these are all hooked up and ready to go to be fed for doing the pure iron ingot. Where is it? There it is. So like I said, I need to do 3 lines of 10. So I can do 3 of my blueprints, and then we'll just have to add in 1 more manually. We got 1, 2, and then 3. So that's 9. Now I just need a 10th on the end here. And we'll just have to add in whatever we have to do. I could make a blueprint as well where it's like got its stuff already connected, but this really isn't that hard to have to add in just these little bits. So this is kind of how I do it. I just bring this out off the end, raise it all the way up, add a pipe in, grab a pipeline junction cross, hold control so it snaps exactly where I need it. Using horizontal to vertical, I start up here at the pipe, then I bring it down to the machine, and that brings it up and over the conveyor belt down below. Hopefully I explained these properly. If I don't, I apologize. Hopefully I'm making it easy to follow along if you need to. We're at the point in the game where I'm not even super familiar with what's going on, so we're kind of just getting through it together. So there we go. We got our first line of 10. I just need to do that 2 more times. We'll go another set there and another set here, and that'll be all our refineries for, well, we still have to connect them together, but those will be all our refineries for the pure iron ingot. There we go. There's the 3 lines of 10. I did a 3 line gap in between like the back of the pipes here. So it's essentially a 3-line gap in between the blueprints, and it ended up working out really nicely. So now I just need to go and connect all the pipes together and all the belts together. Because these are blueprints, I'm just using Mark 5 belts all over the place, so it's nice and easy. All right, same thing with all the outputs as well. So you just gotta go put all these connected together in the back, and then he's also gonna need mergers. Grab some aluminum sheets for my storage and we can finish that off. So yeah, the back needs mergers and everyone else should be pretty much connected at this point, except for these pipes. And yeah, just the back belts and the new mergers. There we go. We have everything hooked up, and I'm just putting in some signs to remind myself what the numbers are. So the 1240.74 divided by 2 was 620.37. So we got 620.37 coming from there, and same thing coming from this side. And then the other one was 625. So that's this one here. So now we can go ahead and clock these things as they need to be. So we're going to go 625 divided by 10, which would be 62.5 from each one. So we're going to make sure everything is set to pure iron ingot and 62.5. So a little bit of a down clock, 96.1538 on each thing here. And on the other lines that you're doing the split decimal, it is 62.037 if you type in the actual thing, it'll give you that specific number right there. Or I think you can do 62.04 or 95.4415%. So we're going to go ahead and copy and paste that to all 20 of these. There we go, just like that. Everybody should be set up and ready to go. Perfect. So that is all the refineries done for the pure iron ingot. Man, that was so fast and so easy. Holy smokes. Okay, so now we're going to do the 18 that we need, 18 refineries for the pure quartz crystal. I think I'll do the same thing I did here where it's split into groups of 3, but I'll do 3 groups of 6, obviously. That way it stays nice and even. So we'll grab the, we'll grab more of the pure iron ingot blueprint, and then we'll do the true, 3 groups of 6 all right next to them. Yeah, there we go. Jeez, this is the easiest thing I think I've ever done in this game so far. Man, blueprints just really truly made such a game changer to how you can actually put your factories together. So we're at 3 here, and we just got to link everything up together and set our outputs. So each line, it needs to output 300 because I need 900 total. So we're going to go to pure quartz crystal. We're going to go 300 divided by 10, or sorry, 300 divided by 6. Silly. It's 50. So we're going to downclock these to only put out 50 per minute. So copy that to each and every single one. So I don't have to add any extras on here, but I do have to go ahead and connect all these bad boys together in the back. So obviously you don't need Mark V conveyor belts and stuff here, but again, since I'm just using the blueprints, I'm not worrying about balancing out the belts, which is also saving me a buttload of time because that has also really slowed me down in the past. So we have those hooked up. Oh, yeah, I gotta do the pipes. These are just kind of spaced out the side down a nice little 3 wide foundation gap in between everybody. So it's all spaced out really nicely. And I mean, oh, forgot the inputs here. I can do that on the other sides as well. But once these are connected, that is the miners, refineries, and water all taken care of already. We're going to be zooming in this episode. Maybe I don't have to break it up into 2 episodes. Blueprints save the day. All right, so let's take miners, refineries, and water off the to-do list then. Water was water extractors. And then we can move on to the most machines I have to place in this episode, which is 145 constructors. So I can tell you right now, I'm definitely either going to need to add another floor on top of this, or I need so much more room than I actually thought I did because I've been spacing these apart. Because yeah, still need 145 constructors, 23 assemblers, and the 50 manufacturers. 50 manufacturers would pretty much take up the rest of the room we already have. So, all right, so let's do constructors, which I've got a line of 4-line manifold of constructors. I also have an 8. There's a constructor with 8 constructors, which I also need to upgrade these to Mark V belts. But I don't think I'm going to use these because they're not really... Actually, I might use some of them, but like, so the group of 100 constructors all making wire, which I think I may as well, I guess I could technically do that one first. I'm going to do like 5 groups of 20, which will allow me to use my 4 manifold blueprint. Let's do like boop, 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 just like that. So maybe we'll start those actually back here. Where do the belts move? The belts are also moving that way. So everything's going that way. Let's start from like here. And then I need to put this down 5 times, right? It'll be 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. I need quick wire and cable. quick iron cable. Quick iron cable. Don't forget. There's cables. Where's my quick wire at? Well, there's all my cables. Where's my quick wire? I have to go to quick wire. No, that's okay. Thankfully, I have the human launcher that launches me here, and I got another one that fires me back. It's much faster. All right, we're back just in time. The sun is slowly set. We're going to lose daylight here shortly, but I brought like over 5,000 quick wire back, so hopefully we're not running out of quick wire anymore. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be 20, yes? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Okay, so I need to do that 5 times. But I'll tell you what, the fact that I placed 100 constructors all pretty much connected together with power connected as well before the sun barely even moved down. Ooh-wee, I'll tell you. Let me tell you about these blueprints. If you're not using them, you probably should be. I think I made a mistake by not using them earlier. You know that MEGAFACTORY episode that took like 5 episodes? Probably could have been done that in like 2 or 3. But hey, it's all about learning, right? So we have 100 constructors put in here now. We're just going to link everything all together. All the inputs and outputs. I kind of forgot a bunch of these. We're just going to link all these together. And then we'll go ahead and set them all to do iron wire. I'll just do one and then I'll copy and paste on them all. Should be faster. We're just hooking up the Mark V belts here in between. These should work, I believe, in terms of like their numbers for inputs and outputs. I think you can feed 20 at a time and collect from 20 at a time. Fingers crossed. There we go. Math for you guys. We need a total output of 2,233.33, and we have 100 constructors, so each constructor needs to put 22.333 per minute. So we're going to go ahead and copy this output thing. We're going to go ahead and select iron wire, paste, underclock by that much, just a squidge. Just the smallest amounts. You're going to go ahead and copy that and put it on every single constructor. Now, just before I move on, I just wanted to quickly go over the numbers because things will get not necessarily complicated, but a little weird from here. If you wanted to not have all your machines just super, the reason I did this was just because it looks super, super clean, and I'll have to do some balancing down below because we need some of this to go as 1400 to a bunch of cable constructors, and then we need 833.33 going to the assemblers. So obviously you could split these off into groups and then have your exact number, like you could have like a certain number of machines make your 1400, which would have to, you know, combine into like 2 lines. And then you could have your, you could have a set doing 833.33 exactly if you wanted to like load balance this. But, I went with the super clean version, which is going to have to be, we're going to have to let like one side back up in order for it to fill the other one, but it'll still be okay. I'm just waiting for data pass, but I think the best way I've thought of doing this for combining them when I need to have everything come together is I'll combine these 2 together and it'll make more than the 833.33 that I need. So we'll combine these 2 and then we'll split it. No. I can't combine these 2. Okay, so I think I've figured out how I'm going to do it. Just while I'm waiting for the night to pass here. So I think when I go to have to move everything all over, I will split one of these, and I will leave the 2 lines will have to come out together to be the total 833. But I think what I'll do is I will split them. I'll split one of them, and then I'll send it off into another splitter, and those 3, I'll send a line of each one into merging with these ones. And then those 3, like once they've been merged together with that one, those 3 will take hopefully 1400 to the constructors doing cables. This might seem a little bit complicated, but I'll go over it again as we finish it up. So hopefully everything makes sense in the end. All right, daytime, back to build time. So I did have to go ahead and add a whole bunch of extra space because I turned my back once I was done looking at this and I was like, not enough room for activities. So we still have to fit in at least constructor wise. Still have to fit in another 24 for cables. I'm going to do 4 groups of 6 for that one. So those are just going to get lined up with that. And then the other one is 21 constructors. So I'm going to do 3 lines of 7. So I think what I'll do is I'll just build like 2 blueprints and I'll just delete the one off the end. So let's keep these a little bit separated at least. We'll line those up there. That should be... Why can't I move this sideways? That's being weird. There we go. Right there. We'll go... Oh, I could have got more cable out of my storage. Thankfully, I have lots of cable here. There we go. We have 4 lines of 6, and this is a lot of constructors. There's more. I think this is probably more constructors than our actual MEGAFACTOry had. And that took me so much longer to place than these are. Thank you again to blueprints. I think we'll be using a lot of them going forward. And yeah, I think when like 1.0 comes out, I'll either probably be like doing some streams where I'm just like messing around building some blueprints in the new world, or I'll probably like just hang out in the Discord and do them there as well. So if I haven't mentioned it yet this episode, hey, come hang out in the Discord. It's a pretty cool place. Link is in the description somewhere of this video or on my channel profile. So that is the constructors to do cables. So we need 700 cables divided by the 24. So we go 700 divided by 24. We get 29.16667. What do you bet that means? That we're just barely downclocking them. We go to... This is cable. Look at that. Just barely downclocked again. So we're going to copy the settings from there. We're going to paste them across everybody again. Those all, make sure I get everybody. These are all for cables. And the total output is 700. So eventually we can just merge these 4 lines together into one big conveyor line of Mark V. So the constructor, we're going to go the 3 groups of 7. We're going to go... I leave a 3 space gap in between there, so we're going to go same thing with here. Line them up there. I'm going to stick 2 next to each other, and then we're just going to delete the one off the very end. Seems like the best way of going about that, I think. So now I just take the one off the end, and that leaves me with 7. There we go. That works. 21 for iron plates. So I need 416.67. So 416.67 divided by 21. Yeah, 21. 19.8. So we'll go copy. Iron plates. Another baby downclocking. Did I copy that? I can't remember. So we'll just paste that on everybody here. Saving just a smidgen of power. Could also go like all the underclocking I'm doing. You could also just go like 1 or 2 less machines and then just overclock. There we go. That is the 21 constructors doing iron plates. So now we are moving on to the... Oh, that's all the constructors done actually. Moving on to the 23 assemblers. So what how can I split that up? 23. 2 is 11.5. 3 is 7.6. You know what? I'm just going to do 24 and extra downclock it, because otherwise this is going to be a really weird number. So I'm going to do 24. And we'll do the same as here. We'll just do 4 groups of 6. So we'll grab our assembler blueprint. And we'll do the same thing as I did over here. I'm going to try and line it up with this stuff here, at least somewhat. Be that one there. Then I want to make sure there's like 3 in between. I have to squeeze this one a little bit more. All right, I think I've landed on a good spot to put these down. I think I'm gonna go with right here. This all facing the right direction. It is. Okay, so 1. And reinforced iron plates. It's fine, we got lots of those too. Okay, I shifted it ahead a little bit because I realized I was like, well, the problem I'm gonna run into here is, actually maybe I could line up with those ones over there. Let's do that instead. But yeah, so the problem I was realizing I was gonna run into was that these take up a lot more space than the constructors do. So if I stack them going backwards, I may run out of room if I did that. So I think if I go 4, well, if I lined it up from the front of this one, and those were just in by, I think either 2 or 3. By 2? Okay, so that's easy to line up. So we're gonna put them right here. Right? Right. Okay, good. Okay, there we go. Took me a minute to kind of get them all in properly. There we go. We got 3 or 4 lines of 6 for a total of 24 assemblers, all doing reinforced iron plates. It's gonna be an output total of 125. I just need to connect all the belts. So we will be able to connect all of these together with a merger when they're all done. And like I said earlier, you don't need to be doing Mark V conveyor belts anywhere if you want to save yourself on the aluminum. But we've got plenty, and this is much faster. There we go. There's all their belts connected. And that's honestly all the assemblers done. So now I just got to do 125 divided by what, 24? So 125 divided by 24. We go copy. And stitched iron plate. I think I remember I mentioned that. So down clock it to 5.21 per minute, 92.5926%. We're going to go ahead and copy that from that bad boy, and we're going to paste that to everybody. And it'll be a total of 125 reinforced iron plates, or stitched iron plates, I guess, if you want to call them by their correct name. And that takes assemblers off my to-do list. Man, we are crushing this episode. Now, obviously, I'm kind of out of room here, and I still need to add 50 manufacturers. So I think I'm just going to go ahead. Do I do it behind? I kind of liked having it all one floor, but I mean, this thing is massive. I think we'll just have to go with a second floor. There's not enough space over here. I mean, I could just send it all out this way, but it would start to take on a weird shape. So we're going to go ahead and throw on 4-meter foundation, stack it on top. We'll go up. It's not going to go all. It's not going to cover the refineries, I don't think. I think we can fit the 50 manufacturers in that space. So let's go. Let's just go up 10. And then we'll grab our blueprint foundation with the subfloor. And I need to grab some concrete from my little storage bin here. And then I'm just going to add a subfloor, pretty much covering from here, or the subfloor and floor. I'll pretty much add it from there, probably to about where the refineries are. I did give myself, I think, enough space to go over the refineries, but I'm not going to go that far if I don't need to. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I put on an upper floor and I absolutely hated it. So here we are. I just put it all on the back. Because I was like, I put all this effort into making this one floor and I think it looks so cool. I want it all to stay one floor. So I just added a bunch onto the back. And now I need to place 50 manufacturers. So I mean, let's see. Let's grab my blueprint here that I've manufactured. We need 3 inputs, cable, reinforced iron plates, and quartz crystal. I have another one that has 4 inputs, but I only need the 3 input one here. So we know we can do 4. Like that's 4 wide. So if I was to do, say, like 5 groups of 10, how much space would I really need for that? So if I started from like, let me find a good starting spot. Let's say like right there. So if I went like, okay, so I'm going to start placing my 50 manufacturers. I tried to do my blueprint As you may have seen, I don't know if I cut it out or not, but my blueprint is just a little bit too much extra space. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to grab manufacturers by themselves. I'm going to start from about right here. Maybe a little further back. We're going to start right here. And then I'm going to leave a little bit less space in between them. So like I said, it's going to do 5 rows of 10, which is going to be quite a bit. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry. So as it turns out, my blueprint is just a little bit too big for the amount of space I have left. There was just no way to get 50 of those blueprints into this amount of space. That would have had to be an upper floor thing. So for this, I'm actually going to tighten them up a little bit as compared to how I had them before. And we're going to place them all along here. Actually, we'll go one back. We'll go like there. And then I'll just snap them in next to each other. So like I was saying, I was going to do 5 rows of 10. So we'll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Have enough space? Look at that. It's going to be perfect. All right, there we go. 50 constructors, 10 rows, or I'm sorry, 5 rows of 10. I mean, 10 rows of 5 might have made more sense too, but this should work no problem, I think. So I will, obviously this will slow me down a little bit where now I'll have to add in all the belts and everything for these. But if I make some blueprints for I guess I'll just stack them up. So we're gonna do, I guess I could probably just feed all these from below and then just do manifold lines all along the bottom. Well, I mean, I think either way, somewhere it's going to be a little messy, but I think for these, we can do manifold lines all along the bottom. And then that'll at least give me more space to walk in between everybody here. Actually, now let's just we'll do the stacks and the feed. So I'm more worried about the inputs than the outputs. Like the outputs I can squeeze in a little more if I need to. But for these, I'm going to grab the conveyor splitters. And I figure actually I'm going to grab a lift first. Doesn't really matter which one. It's just going to go on temporarily. This is going to tell me where I need to have my splitters. Looks like it's about right there. Yeah, that seems about right. Oops. Oh, I don't want to take away the splitter. That's my marker now. So we go 1, 2, 2, 3. These oh yeah, these are facing right, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then on the bottom one, you go 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, then you just delete the bottom ones, and then we'll be putting in our lifts. So we'll go, I mean, since we're putting these in, what do these take in? So these are going to be set to crystal oscillators, and everyone is set to 100%, and no one takes in that much. So we'll just do mark 1 lifts for everybody, and that'll save us on materials. We'll go like this. I think this one I have to go, yeah, machine to that one. A little stubby. Yeah, I prefer to be able to see the extension. So, and then, yeah, just mark 1 conveyor belt, feed it in like that. And then one on the very end here. And that is going to be your manifold line for all the, for everyone here. I'll probably just kind of skip ahead to keep this all one episode. I'm going to do this all along on everybody. And then for feeding them all, they're going to have like, we'll line up 4 conveyor holes, and we'll just do different heights of the lifts coming out, and then it'll just feed in from the side like that. So yeah, let's just go ahead, place a whole bunch of splitters and all the lifts, and then we'll meet back here once that's all done. All right, if you need it, I actually went ahead and I made a blueprint because I didn't want to be here all day doing that. So I now have a 3 high blueprint. I'll make a 4 high one as well, but since this is only a 3 feeder, I think I can go there. I'm just using the using this lift currently to line myself up, which I did not do correctly. Or did I? Yeah, I did. Okay. So now we're going to grab a Mark 1 lift and we'll see if these can lock into each other. They do. Okay. So we can put them not that far out. So I'm going to grab it and do the same thing all the way down. Yeah. So if you guys need this blueprint, go ahead and check out the Google Drive down below. It should be in there. I'll label it better before I actually upload it. And then you guys can use this if you need to fill or feed a bunch of manufacturers this way. I mean, to be fair, even without blueprints, the sun literally just went down and I've got everything all belted up aside from the lifts. But I mean, all the belts are hooked up, so all the bus lines, I think those are called, are all feeding down through there. So let's make sure everyone's set to crystal oscillator and I'll see you guys when the sun comes up. All right, the sun has come up and our sea of manufacturers is complete. Actually, this whole factory is basically complete aside from hooking everyone all together. But man, this is a clean looking factory. Look at this thing. Ooh-wee. This is definitely the cleanest one I've done to date. This one is cool. It's also huge. I don't know if you can tell that. It is a monster sized factory. It's not like a mega factory, but like this is pretty big. I feel like this has got to be up there for the biggest one I've built so far. There's a lot of machines I just had to place and a lot of belt work. Now the only thing we have to worry about is doing all the inputs and outputs, sending things down below and back up that need to be moved around the factory to different places. And then we can combine all these manufacturers together into one line, feeding into this drone port right here that I just stuck down while I was waiting to come back and hang out with you guys a little bit more. This is going to feed the 50 and that'll send it back to base because drone ports can easily handle 50 items per minute. So crazily enough, we can actually take manufacturers off the to-do list. Let me look at, there we go. Need something with a good background. Manufacturers, done. Man, I can't believe we play. Oh, I mean, drone station also done. But I mean, to-do list for the episode is not over because we still have to actually hook up the factory. I think what I'll do next is we will start from all the way back here, back in the refineries area, and we will start doing all our conveyor holes and everything that we're going to need so we can start moving things around. And then I don't know if I don't think I'll worry about doing a power montage for hooking these up because everything else is already hooked up to power. These are the only things that aren't because they weren't wasn't able to use a blueprint on this one. So let's do let's start in on the belt work and then we can start firing things up and we'll go from there. I did want to add, I think I'll just add it out off the back side here. I wanted to add some liquid storage just as a little bit extra. So I'm going to add just a little side platform here. I'm going to put 3 water tanks here for each of those lines to flow it through first, and then they'll feed into the rest of the machines. I think that's probably my best bet. Okay, so in terms of getting the pipes from here to over there, I'm going to keep them all on the ceiling along here just so they're out of the way of all my belt work. And I went ahead and I put in all the conveyor holes that we're going to need for the inputs and outputs, just so I know I'm not crossing over anyone and blocking anything out. So this one I'm going to run, I'm just going to turn it immediately. I'm just going to send it down this way. Still keeping it my nice clean 90-degree turn. And then so I want to get it all the way out to the back end here. And then I'm going to bring it along. Actually, as I'm putting this together, I'm pretty sure if I pump it up and then into this, it's going to be like, oh, now you don't have any head lift coming out of these. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take these fluid buffers, I'm going to put them down there, like immediately as they're coming out of the extractors. And then I'll just pipe these directly into where they need to go. Yeah, I'm going to do that instead because I think this will just end up giving me an issue if I try and get this up from here, if I don't have pumps along here, and I don't want to have to waste putting in extra pumps. Okay, so there is the, what was that? The line of, how much water comes this way? 574. So 574, and then so it's the one line coming here, and then it hits a splitter here, and then it goes into the 3. So we got one, and then sorry, yeah. So one pipe feeds each line of here. That should balance out nicely. And then yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and put the water storage tanks down there, so I'm not messing up the pumps up here, or not needing pumps up here. We can go ahead and delete this little part then. We don't need it anymore. Okay, so now I just want to get my pipes to my crystal refineries hooked up, which I can... How can I send this? So I need to split two into 3. So I mean, really, I can just put a splitter on one and combine, and sort of not combine them together, but so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the pipeline junction down here. I'm going to put one there and one there. I'm going to connect the pipes up together. Just like that. So now they won't be one because we can't send more than 600 in one line, but they'll share and they'll split between the 3 that I'm going to need. So from here, I'm going to... Okay, so I split, or sorry, I didn't, they're not necessarily split, but they share a little bit extra together. So this should help to keep the pipes full, and this should be able to take the 2 and make it 3 full pipes without any issues. I don't think there should be any issues. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed. We just got to get those 3. I don't think I actually have the holes set up for these yet. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter which side you feed liquids from. I mean, technically we could even just feed them from this side if I wanted to, and then we don't have to run the pipes as far. So let's do that. I'm going to run them to this side. Or am I not going to like that? I'm probably not going to like that because then it won't be the same. Yeah, it won't be the same. Let's just do it the same way. All right, I'm putting my faith in you floor holes. Don't let me down. I don't think I've had a floor hole work in a very long time, but we're going to go for it. So we're going to bring these 3 pipes over to these 3 holes over here. So we'll start with this one, and then we'll bring them over, get those all hooked up. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down there. I'll put in my little liquid storage buildings, and I think we'll fire up the water just since we have so many pipes to fill up. I'm going to get those started just so we can get it all backed up and ready to go. All right, we're firing up water generators, or water extractors, whatever you want to call them. See if our system makes sense. So they're going to start filling up all their pipes down here. Fill up these fluid buffers as well. Should go right through them for now though. And we'll see if these lifts are placed in their correct spot. If not, we're going to have to shift some things around. It looks like I have like an extra pipe here or something. What's going on here? I do have an extra pipe here. What's happening there? Wait. Is there... Confused. Is there pipeline here? That's weird. Never seen that happen before. I have to take this one out and put it back in. There you go. I had to mess around with the pumps a little bit. For some reason, I couldn't get the middle one. The water wasn't catching for some reason, so it actually got shifted just the tiniest little bit, but they're all still in line with each other, and the water is now pumping all the way through the system and starting to get itself all backed up all through these lines here, which is absolutely perfect. So that's the only liquid stuff that we have to deal with the whole build. Everything else is just the solid materials. So this was my other main question is, are my floor holes preventing the water from coming through? And the answer is no. It looks like the floor holes are actually working this time. The only one I don't see liquid in, is this one. Why is that? That's probably what? Huh? That's weird. This is probably a floor hole issue. There we go. Just had to take the floor hole out and put it back in a couple times, and now that is correctly working. And so are all the other water pipes. Okay, so we're good on those. And now we can just jump into taking care of connecting the raw materials to the refiners, and then all the refiners to all the constructors and to all the assemblers. Yay, can't wait to do all this belt work. Honestly, I might just kind of skip through it just because it's not really a necessary part. The only thing I'll probably focus in on is when I have to split a couple of things. If anyone's trying to follow along, I'll show you exactly how to split them to hopefully balance it out properly. But other than that, let's just jump into placing a whole bunch of belts. And then we'll meet back here and we'll go over everything before we actually power this bad boy on. We're going to have to connect kind of all these machines together somehow, but it shouldn't be too bad. We'll connect all the machines together. I guess I could do a quick little, like, tiny little power montage where I connect all these together and then just connect all the actual machines. But basically, that is most of the actual factory done. And this thing looks awesome. I can't wait to actually fire this thing up and see everything all moving around. It's going to be great. All right, the time has come to finally turn the factory on. I'm going to turn it on in parts just so I can troubleshoot things as we go along. So I believe with this, it was not that hard about work because I did keep in mind that everything was kind of flowing in the same direction. Basically everything was going to the left. I mean, until it had to go over to the manufacturers back there, but for the most part, everything along here was flowing in this direction, so it made it a lot easier to kind of move things around. The only thing I'm not 100% sure about is the part where I split the outputs, like the numbers that were higher than just a singular belt. I'm not 100% sure I balanced these correctly. So basically the way it is, we have the 3 lines coming out, and then since this line has, what is it? Each line has 620.37. Now I needed one line to have 625. So that means this singular line just barely didn't have enough. So what I did was I split this middle line. So what I did was I split these 2 lines and then I set them to send their overflow to join this line so that so more than what I need is getting sent to these 2 lines here. So once these 2 get backed up, that means they'll send the extra that this one needs across that way. And this way, both lines will kind of do it evenly and it shouldn't mess up my output. Now, whether this actually works, I don't know. We're going to find out. So I kind of did the same thing over here where there's like a little bit of belt balancing. It's not like perfect number belt balancing. It's just so like certain belts get the right numbers. And then they're all just going to back each other up. But so we can go ahead and get started with turning on at least the miners. So we'll turn on the miners. We'll get those lines all filled up. And then we'll turn on the refiners. And then we'll let the refiners get a little bit backed up. And then we'll go ahead and we'll connect the constructors. And then so on and so forth. We'll just kind of slowly start connecting everything together. And we'll try and figure out if what I did actually works. And fingers crossed that it did. Okay, so I can go ahead and connect the iron miners over here. They'll get hooked up into the main power here. And they'll start putting out their iron. And then we'll do the same thing over here. I need to connect these 2 miners to this power pole. Just like that. So now we should start seeing iron flying up. Yeah, there's the first round of iron. And then the quartz should be following suit here in just a second. There it is. All right, both ores are backed up. That means we can turn on the refineries. We can turn on both the refineries at the same time because they're separate inputs. So we're going to go those connected. That's the quartz refiners. And then now I need to hook up these ones. This line right here. There we go. Make sure everyone's actually connected. Nope, you're not connected to power. Why not? Oh, you're just not set. Yellow is fine. Red is not. No power. Why not? Oh. Oh, I forgot the refineries I added on the end. I never added power for them. Okay, we can fix that really quick. Okay, there we go. Everyone is turned on. The only thing we don't have yet is enough ore for everybody. which is actually kind of fine because that's helping the water pipes back up first. So I'm just gonna let these run for a little bit until they get backed up and balanced out. I'll see you guys back here when that's done. If you have any questions about the build, if you're trying to follow along exactly and you're running into something where you're like, I'm a little confused and you need some explanation, just throw a little comment down below and I'll try my best to answer you. And worst case scenario, if you're not in the Discord, you can join the Discord and I can try and troubleshoot it with you. All right, the iron constructors at the very least are all backed up. The quartz ones can work away for a little bit because those won't get turned on until the manufacturers come on. So for now, let's go ahead and connect our power to our constructors here. This will turn on all 100 of these. Oh, never mind. It turns on every single constructor all at the same time. Okay, so this is all the iron plates working away. This is all cable working away. And when the cable starts getting made, then the rest of this stuff can start getting turned on, I think. What's wrong with you? Oh, you're not set. Like I said, yellow is fine, red is not. Something's not connected here. These are the cable. They're not getting their wire for some reason. Also, you're not set either, it looks like. No other reds? Okay. No other reds is fine. Yeah, it looks like these are not connected properly somewhere. Let's go find out where. Yeah, that'll do it. Same problem I had with the other ones. Okay, there we go. Now it's all fixed. Yeah, a couple, it turns out the ones up top here were actually facing the wrong way. Those are all done now. Which means we got copper. Look at all this copper wire flowing around. Okay, so that should be all the constructors working now. Probably going to take these ones quite a bit for them to actually get backed up from their iron ingots, because this is a line of manifold line of 20. So we'll probably have to wait a little bit for those to get backed up, and wait a little bit for the constructors in general to get backed up, and then we can fire on the assemblers over here doing the reinforced iron plates, and then once those are working, we can fire on the manufacturers. All right, I waited and everything got backed up, and I'm pretty sure it's all balanced out. We're going to find out now that I can hook up the rest of these machines. Not these. These. Need to connect the assemblers. Now things should start moving again, hopefully. Things should actually start moving rather quickly. There's no copper wire coming to here. Why is that? Another classic case of lift was not connected. So there we go. Now it's flowing in. That should have everything moving again. I have a surplus of all my items now, so I shouldn't have to wait too long for these to get filled up. There's also not that many of them. So once these start to pump out their items, I need to start seeing at least a good handful of reinforced iron plates. Then I can go turn on the manufacturers. Because these are really just all we were waiting for. There we go. I see a little handful kind of flying out the door now. Okay. I know these are all back. You'll start balancing yourselves out. Don't worry. Not the cables. The cables I have to go and move. The cables also will start moving when we turn on these manufacturers, which we're going to do right now, which will also start moving the quartz. So this will be the final step of the factory turning on. Let's connect you to you. Let's check to make sure all the manufacturers are actually set to go. I don't see any red lines, so that's good. That'll be good. The quartz will start feeding into the machines now. So I think the only thing we're going to be waiting on is the reinforced iron plates, because we're going to need I probably could have waited another little bit before I turn this on, but I see at least one going. Two going. Oh, okay, there's a handful going. So then the crystal oscillators all gather together underneath. They're all merged into one, and they feed into this drone port, which is just sitting here doing absolutely nothing until it's ready. Items are trying to move as fast as they possibly can down here. It looks like we're just trying to wait for them all to kind of balance themselves out now. We got tons of cable flying. We got we need more of these reinforced iron plates flying. And then, yeah, this is the crystal oscillators when they're all done. They come flying down through here. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it took me way too long to figure out the whole thing that wasn't in balance with this whole factory was the fact that I built 28 constructors for cable instead of 24. And I was wandering around trying to figure out balancing all my lines, but like, why is nothing going to where it's supposed to? And it turns out I just had this set up incorrectly. So if you were watching the whole time being like, hey man, you got a little too many constructors, then well, at least now I found out. So yeah, now we have everything all balanced 100% going forward, I think. Let me just double check the power line here. Looks like it. The little wobbles you see are my truck stations, and yeah, just the truck stations. The drone stations at least don't go in and out, but truck stations do. So we got all our manufacturers up and running. They look like they're good to go. We got all our constructors running. Everyone's in green. Oh, looks like our quartz is backed up. So let's just go figure out why my quartz is backed up. Yeah, there we go. I just hadn't split the quartz crystal properly, so now it is flowing exactly how I needed it to. So this is a splitter. Now it goes, or smart splitter actually, so it fills this line, and then any overflow actually goes to the rest of the line, which is how it was supposed to be. So now the quartz crystal and everything is all running perfectly and normal. That wobble is just like I said, thanks to the truck stations, because everything else is nice and yellow. So that is going to bring us to the end of today's episode. What a heck of a factory we were able to put together. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Like I said, if you missed anything or you got any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below or join the Discord. You can ask me there directly. But yeah, thank you guys again for hanging out. Thank you guys for the support. If you want to support in other ways other than watching, you can check out the Patreon. You can become a YouTube member or channel membership, whichever you want to call it. I keep feeling like I see this going yellow, but no, it's just the lighting. But yeah, so thank you guys again for hanging out with me for another episode, and I'll see you guys again next week for another mega project. This one's actually going to be a mega project. We're going to be doing 4,600 packaged heavy oil residue. And it's all going to be coming from the basically the oil field. Like I've got it marked out. This is where the HOR plant's going to be. We're going to pump all the oil out of this area, turn it into crude oil, package it up, and train it around the world for whatever we need. So yeah, get yourselves ready for that. You're going to need tons and tons of machines. So get things all banked up. Maybe go on a little adventure if you want to. But yeah, thank you guys again, like I said, and I'll see you guys in the next one.